Hi, this is Morley, and this is the Wire. The mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, has decided to cut off water and power to those not willing to comply with Los Angeles lockdown measures. State-sponsored COVID terrorism. Los Angeles threatens to cut off electricity and water to private homes that refuse to comply with authoritarian lockdown rules. In the latest escalation of state-sponsored COVID-19 terrorism against innocent citizens, Los Angeles Mayor Garcetti is now threatening to shut off the water and electricity to private homes and businesses that don't comply with his increasingly draconian lockdown rules. This threat is, of course, a form of state-sponsored terrorism against citizens. Cutting off electricity from a private home in the middle of a Southern California heat wave is the equivalent of condemning the targeted family to death via heat exhaustion. Cutting off electricity also causes refrigerators and freezers to fail, destroying the home food supply of that same family. Lack of air conditioning also results in the near instant growth of black mold and indoor chemical contaminant that leads to severe fatigue and even death. This destroys the value of the home and makes it nearly impossible to sell. With this threat to shut off electricity and water, the city of Los Angeles is essentially engaged in acts of war against its own citizens over COVID lockdown rules. Those who refuse to comply with the draconian demands of an obviously insane mayor will be placed on an enemies list and have city services cut off. Beginning Friday night, if Los Angeles Police Department officers respond to and verify that a large party is occurring at a property, and there's evidence that the venue has repeatedly engaged in such behavior, the department will request that the city shut off water and power services within 48 hours, reports the LA Times. No due process, no rule of law, no recourse, no appeal, just full-blown government tyranny. The problem with this aggressive action is that it is being conducted outside any due process. No court hearing, no right to any defense, no right to appeal. It's simply the government acting like tyrannical militants who are declaring war on the private homes and businesses they don't like. Yet how many times have LA police conducted no-knock raids on the wrong homes? Bureaucrats are stupid and corrupt. They get home addresses wrong all the time. What happens when they cut off the water and power to the wrong private home or business? Because this is taking place completely outside the rule of law, there's no recourse for those who are innocently harmed. And who decides what constitutes a large gathering in the first place? In the minds of twisted, irrational leftists, a three-person gang shooting is counted as a mass shooting. Does that mean a gathering of just 3 people will be condemned as a large party? It's quite clear that the LA mayor is simply going to make this up as he goes along, which means private homes owned by Republicans or Trump supporters just might magically be condemned as hosting large gatherings even when they aren't. Just as the First Amendment is and have been stripped away from conservatives in Los Angeles, the right to have access to electricity and water may be soon limited to only those who support Democrats. We are watching this nation plunge into medical fascism and even state-sponsored terrorism, mostly at the hands of Democrat mayors and governors who seem to be relishing their newfound powers to punish all those who don't comply with each day's new COVID insanity. What's next? Forced demolition of private homes that don't comply? Before long, Los Angeles will probably start ordering the demolition of private homes and businesses that refuse to comply. Oh wait, that's already the case in the UK, where local councils have just been granted the power to seize and demolish private buildings that are deemed to be contaminated, as Breitbart.com now reports. The Department of Health and Social Care COVID-19 contained framework laid out in a series of laws included in the Coronavirus Act to impose restrictions on or requirements to those close contaminated premises, close public spaces to the area of local authority, detain a conveyance movable structure, disinfect or decontaminate premises, or order a building conveyance to be structure to be destroyed. Now governments can cut off your electricity, cut off your water, and even demolish your private home if you don't comply. And the lockdowns are only getting more insane by the day, too. Completely without any real effort to solve the pandemic by recommending nutrition and H as a preventative measures. We now have arrived at the point where the left-wing government is your true enemy, and they will kidnap you under any quarantine laws, forcibly vaccinate you, even with untested experimental vaccine, or even demolish your private homes without warning, all because you refuse to comply with their totalitarian power grabs that only seek to destroy human civilization and kill as many people as possible. We are now truly ruled by insane, demented criminal tyrants. They must be stopped. It is time to cancel Democrats, but why stop there? Frankly, it's time to end big government and reclaim our right to self-rule. If we don't, the government tyranny will kill far more people than COVID-19, and we will end up living as homeless, destitute street rats in the post-apocalyptic world of global economic collapse. This is what they are deliberately working to achieve. If they succeed, we will be ruled by morons while we suffer and die. This is serious. I mean, if they can cut off your water and power for not following lockdown measures, this is absolutely beyond insane. I mean, this is totalitarianism, as the article says. Well, I thank you very much for listening. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much, and God bless.